Good Monday morning, all my beautiful people. I hope that everything went well over the weekend and you guys are productively moving along with your weeks already as you're watching this video. Today's topic, quick food for thought message. Question, are you hungry or are you starving? The reason why you have to ask yourself this question very carefully is there's a difference between being hungry and being starving. And I mean in the development of whatever we're trying to accomplish out of life. When you approach it from one of those perspectives, you will respond and react differently. Also, when you look around, you want to make sure that the people that you are around, you can determine the difference between the hungry people and the starving people. Quick note on that situation. Always remember, a hungry person will always seek out the right nourishment, whether it be situations dealing with the mind or dealing with the body, that will be productive in that digestion. So a hungry person will take their time to be very calculated on the things that they consume because it benefits them to be able to, make sure they're consuming the right things as opposed to whatever's edible or whatever's around. So I say that to understand the difference of it, asking the question, are you hungry or are you starving? Is a hungry person eat what's going to be beneficial for them, not just for them at that point, but it'll be sustainable in the long run as well. So a hungry person is very, 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 very selective on the things that they introduce into their lives, their minds, their bodies. That's a hungry person. A starving person will devour or eat anything that is next to them when they have nothing else to eat at all. That means that even if a person is around you and you're trying to put them in a better perspective to understand some things on how to sustain themselves, if they're truly just a starving person, they'll eat you if things got tough enough. So the reality of it is not only should you know which one you are, but you should know which type of people that you keep in your circle. Make sure that you are around people that you are conducive, to being with. That is going to be able to help you move forward in life and understand the things that you are trying to put in place and making sure that those around you aren't starving, waiting for the attempt to devour you. So I say that without getting too deep, just to understand first and foremost, there's nothing wrong with recognizing which one that you are. The only problem with it is that if you don't have any identity of who you are, then that could be a problem. And that's the difference between being a wolf amongst sheep or, how that situation would develop, depending on who you are and what you want out of life. So the purpose that I'm getting at once again is for you to ask the question to yourself, are you hungry or are you starving? And once you get the answer to that question, then relate that question to your circle of people that you move around, if they are hungry or if they are starving. One thing I learned about hungry individuals, the best thing about it is most of them understand the value of a meal. They understand the value of whatever they're in, they're digesting, and they want it. They want it to the point where once they eat it, they get all the nutrients and everything inside of it to make it best benefit them long-termable, make it, long-term situation, making it sustainable along the way. As a person, like I said, to a person who is starving, although their drive may seem a little bit different, they may seem a little bit more aggressive in how they obtain whatever they're trying to digest. The reality of it is it really doesn't have any direction for them. They're just eating to survive. And I guess, it's kind of like the understanding on how some people, they call them foodies, or how some people eat to live versus those who live to eat. A starving person, like I said, once again, has no, how can I say, no second thoughts on what they're digesting and the effects and the health of how it may affect their lives. Starving person, and a bite on a situation where they look over and another person has done something that they know is not very, detrimental, or is going to be negatively detrimental to their lives, and they'll still consume it. And that's the problem with a person that is starving, in my opinion, versus a person that is hungry. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being hungry, because a hungry person will always look to better themselves to make sure that they can keep that meal continuously coming and being able to sustain life, as opposed to a starving person who doesn't care where the next meal is coming from, is willing to consume whatever or whoever they may need to survive. As always, this is my little message, my little food for thought, from my mouth to your ears, from my heart to yours. I hope that you guys have a productive week. Ask yourself that question. If you already know the answer, great. If not, think about it. It's funny how life works that way when you take the time to pause and think about it. Anyway, you guys, as always, have a productive week, as I said, and I look forward to speaking to you next Monday. All right? Happy holidays, and from my heart to yours, peace. Be cool.